The Stage Door Show, celebrating the independent artist. With your host, Dave Hondel.
When you see me on the horizon, your boys better run. You better run.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Stage Door Show. This is Dave Hondel. Tonight I have Leah Marie Fuls, recording artist. How you doing, Leah Marie?
Hi Dave, I'm good. Thank you for having me tonight.
It's been kind of an odd time in music, because I know with COVID-19 and a lot of artists right now are obviously we're still not performing as much as we used to, but talk about your performances, because I know you're doing some performing, and I know a lot of people now are starting to kind of do some safe distancing performing at some of the facilities out there. So talk about some of the venues you're performing in right now, and how has that been for you?
So I actually just got back from a show tonight. My lead guitarist and I, we played at this balloon festival, hot air balloons. So we got to be outside. I feel so grateful for outdoor shows because that's our only chance pretty much right now with the corona going on of having shows. So we just did that, and we have a couple other shows coming up. But it's been really this year. I had a lot of great opportunities that unfortunately were canceled. I was supposed to open up for Colby Calais and her band Gone West, and it was canceled. And now, unfortunately, the band is no longer together. So hopefully something, else good will come out of it. We'll see.
Yeah, it always will. And that's, we talk about opportunities being lost, but you know what? I think when a door closes, another one will open up. Again, not your fault. But, what a great opportunity that would have been for Colby Calais to open for her. But again, you yourself, I've heard your music, and your music is amazing. So it stands on its own, to be honest with you. And we were kind of chatting beforehand a little bit about your music. And to me, I want everybody, my listeners, to really know who you are. So let's talk about, what kind of genre music you do play, because to me, it's kind of a crossover. I know at some point it could be country, it could be pop. So kind of talk about your influences musically and really what our listeners can expect when they hear you.
So influences, I got a lot of them. I love Stevie Nicks. She's probably one of my number one people to listen to. She's just inspirational. She went through a lot. I love her songwriting. I love her voice. So unique. I love Tom Petty also. They were good friends, so it's kind of funny. I like Halsey, Carrie Underwood. I like a little bit of everything, but that's who I can think of at the moment that I'm, pretty inspired by.
Well, I mean, in 2018, the Josie Music Awards, which is like the biggest independent music award, show out there, you were, you had Song of the Year for Collision, your song Collision in 2018. So talk about that song and really what kind of inspired that one. Yeah,
so Collision is more pop. It's got that more pop sound, and I was kind of trying to go that route just to kind of test it out, and it was successful. A lot of people really liked it, and I was extremely happy with it. I didn't know if it was something that I could do, that kind of genre, because I was so used to being the singer-songwriter girl with a guitar. So this was totally like, all right, can I do this? Like totally out of my comfort zone, but it was so much fun, and we had a couple different people working on it. And we were just so excited that it won and got some recognition.
It starts out as it always does. My heart leads the race. My head takes time, comes from behind. Then I'm trapped in your gaze. Intuition. I need to
So, yeah, that's Collision. Trying to think. I just had this idea in my head, like Collision, Bad Decision, and you hear that in the song. So we kind of started from there and then wrote the rest of it and then got the beat and put it all together.
And what is your songwriting process like? I know, I talk to a lot of artists, and some people, sometimes they end up writing the words first, sometimes the melody first. And, what is your process like when you write music?
I think for like many artists, I think each song is just born a different way. Like sometimes you'll have the melody first, or sometimes you'll have the lyrics first, or sometimes you'll just have a word. I feel like that happens to me a lot, like a word or a phrase or something comes to mind, and then I just write these lyrics, and then I finally hear the melody and then put it all together.
There was a couple artists that I've spoken to, and I don't know if you ever had this called the perfect storm, where you had like an idea for a song, and basically within 10 minutes you had the whole song written. And wasn't like that process of taking like a week or a month or more to kind of put something together. It just kind of came to you.
I love when that happens. It's happened for a couple of my songs. It's just so great when it all just falls into place, and like you don't have to overthink it. Sometimes you dwell on a song for months and months and you're like, this needs to be perfect, and then other times you just know when it's right and you get it right away. That is like the perfect storm, like you said. That's the ultimate, is to have each song, come to you quickly and to just be so happy with it,
Yeah, I mean, what do you think sets your music apart from others? Because I know right now with the streaming services, back when I was starting in the music business years ago, I mean, we're talking like vinyl records and cassettes, and CDs just kind of came out, and now CDs are almost a thing of the past, and everything's almost digital download, which I think is convenient for the listener, but it also creates a lot of competition out there amongst musicians. So what kind of sets you apart, and what would make people want to go download your music as opposed to the other several artists that are on platforms like Spotify and Apple and all that?
You're right. It is very competitive with everything being digital. I guess what sets my music apart is I just feel like I have so many like different genres into one. Like I have a little bit of blues and pop and country and rock, and I think I'm able to pull off a bunch of different genres, and there's just something about the connection with people. It's more of a live thing for me. Like I am able to connect with like my audience and people I don't know, and then we talk, and we turn into friends and fans, and they kind of follow my music and they like it. So I don't know, it's all about the connection with people, and I've been lucky that I've written kind of sad songs. I wrote a song called You're Never Gone. I think I have the music video still up on YouTube. Just a slow guitar, light band song. It's about losing someone, and I've been so lucky that strangers have come up to me and said like they connect with it, and it made them feel better about losing someone because they can relate to it. I mean, obviously you're never going to feel better about losing someone important that you love in your life, but for someone to be able to connect to what you're saying is just like one of the most amazing feelings out there.
No, I completely agree. And one of the other things we talk about too, with the indie artists that come on the show is really about business, and because you do have to really, as an indie artist, run your own business. Even if people have management or PR, I think it's important that the artists themselves get involved with the business aspect of things. And what do you do for your music and your performing, and what from a business aspect, what can you tell other artists out there that was successful for you? And then also, how does social media kind of play into that piece of your business?
I feel like social media is the most important. That's the way to get yourself out there, and it's a matter of finding which ones you're good at and which ones you want to focus on, because there's so many. You have to find like what your audience is on the most, and then you have to post the content that they like and that their friends are going to like, and they're going to bring more people in. It is a tough business, whether you're an independent artist or you're on a label. It's all about selling and figuring it out. I mean, I'm still figuring it out, but the social media is extremely important. I'm mostly on Instagram and Facebook, I would say. A little bit of Twitter too.
Yeah, and what would you, I guess, for advice, if you were going to give a piece of advice to, people out there just getting started in the music business, I mean, what would that main advice be from your aspect, from the time you've been in music?
I feel like my advice would be to, be so patient with yourself. Don't get frustrated if something's not going right. You just have to hang in there and try to look at something a different way and different angle and go with it, and you'll be surprised. A lot of times it works out, and you see it later on down the road, your journey, and you're like, I can't believe that worked out. And I was, driving myself crazy thinking it wasn't going to work out. You just have to have faith and have patience with yourself.
That's great advice. Also, during the quarantine, in the last several months, where we were all kind of at home, and I know a lot of musicians were writing music. And what did you do differently? I guess what did you do during that time frame to kind of further your, either your songwriting or your performance and performances? I mean, what did you do to utilize that time for your music?
So during the quarantine, I did many Facebook Lives, which was something new for me. I was not used to that, but it was great. It was just so nice to see people on there and people you didn't know, and they give you tips or they tell you, you did a good job, and it just kept you going. I felt like it kept me going because it felt so weird to not have shows. I was booked with shows, and for them to just be done, it was heartbreaking. But it felt a little weird, you can't actually see these people, but just to have a little bit of that connection and to just keep going and to still feel inspired to, want to songwrite or want to play music or want to learn more songs, it still kept me going.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. It's obviously when they say the word, I mean, we've heard it a million times, but the new normal, who knows what that's going to look like in a year. I mean, hopefully we'll get back to the point where we don't have to do Zoom calls every time we want to get in front of people. But I think it'll happen if hopefully sooner than later. But one of the things I wanted to ask you too is getting into music. At what point in your life were you like a kid, teenager? I mean, what made you want to pick up a guitar, and what made you want to really get into music?
So ever since I was little, I just loved music. I just knew every song, and I was always hearing it. I grew up just surrounded by music, my family, everybody. And I don't know, I just kind of would make up little songs when I was a kid and would hear melodies and words, and then I kind of just started writing poetry a little bit, I would say in middle school. And then high school is all right, I'm really about this music. Let's see if I can write my own music. Let's see if I can play an instrument. And I really started getting into guitar playing at that point and really trying to, hone in on writing the music, playing music, just putting it all together, finding my sound.
If you had a collaboration with anybody, it doesn't matter who it is, who would that be, and why would you want to collaborate with that person?
That's a really good question. That's really tough. I like Halsey. I think she's kind of a genius, as well as Taylor Swift. I just like somebody who can write lyrics that really make you think. I'm all about the songwriting, and they're pretty freaking good at it. So I would say probably either Halsey or Taylor Swift at the moment. But that could change, I think
right now more than ever, you're seeing a lot of crossover collaborations, which I think is great. I mean, it's good for both artists, I think, to cross over. But you see a lot of rappers with either country artists or somebody that's really not in their genre. So I think it's really important to collaborate. And collaboration, I think, just like I said, it just helps both. Because you're basically gaining a new fan base. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but to me, it's like you're gaining a new fan base by collaborating with somebody else that might not even be in the same realm of music that you're used to playing.
Absolutely. And it's amazing to put two different genres together. I mean, a music lover can appreciate all music, and why not work together? And like you said, you get more fans that way, and people hear you more because you're working with somebody else in a different style. So that's awesome.
You go back and forth. We were mentioning you're mentioning this before we went on the air, but you go back and forth between your home in the Lehigh Valley and then Nashville. So talk about that when you're recording in Nashville. I mean, how is that process for you? And it's got to be exciting, I think, to record in Nashville, because I think it's like Music City is one of the best places to, I would imagine, to record with all the great studios there.
It was amazing. I mean, I was at how great these musicians are. They know their stuff. Like, I'm showing them, original songs that, I just wrote. I'm still trying to, get them down, and they got it right away. It's amazing. Such a great experience.
Yeah, I work with a lot of artists that we've had a lot of them on our show that record, or they live in Nashville and record in Nashville, and that's some of our reality shows are shot in those recording studios, and it's impressive. And the thing is, one of the other things we talk a lot about. In fact, I talked to Denise Williams on our interview about this as well, is the fact that a lot of recording studios, unfortunately, are closing. They're shuttering down because most people these days record at home, or have home studios, or with the type of software out there. I mean, you really could mix and master something that's pretty comparable to what you hear in a recording studio. But I think there's that recording studio atmosphere that a lot of people like, and I think it probably kind of lends itself to a better product sometimes if you're in that environment. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know anything about recording, like being a producer. Like, I know a little bit from watching it, observing, but I've never tried to, make my own CD or anything like that. So it looks complicated and a lot involved. So kudos to all the producers, engineers out there for knowing their stuff and putting it all together. It looks fun to be able to do all that at home. I mean, I feel like you're kind of more comfortable in a comfortable setting. If you're at home, you're, kind of more relaxed, obviously. But there is something about a studio, like you said, the atmosphere. I feel like you want to try more or something because, you're putting money into it, you're putting time into it, you're hiring all these other great musicians to be on it. So you really are trying to work towards something special. And I think that is something that can never be lost. It's unfortunate that these recording studios are going out of business, but I would hope that, they're going to either come back or they're going to remain because they're needed. I agree with you completely, 100%. And, I don't think as far as, like you said, the collaboration and the team, effort to put together a project, it is. There's nothing like it in the world to have that end product that took, several people, the blood, sweat, and tears that went into it. I think it makes it that much more gratifying than if you were sitting at home doing it yourself. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I'm going to go back to the Josie Music Awards again, because there was the 2020 awards. There was several categories that you were nominated in. So let's talk about that, because I want our listeners to really know about who Leah Marie Fuls is. So Josie Music Awards for 2020, I'm nominated for Song again, which I'm excited about. This time it's for my song Destiny. And I'm also nominated in 3 other categories. I think one is entertainer, one is singer, and I'm not sure what the other one is, maybe performer or something like that. But I'm just excited to go to Tennessee. I love it there. So I love going back and forth, and it's just going to be nice to get a little break and to just see everybody again. It's really nice to meet new artists and to just, enjoy it, enjoy the music, talking with everybody, seeing what everybody's up to, hearing all these different independent artists, what they've been working on. It's incredible. I have a lot of respect for independent artists. I know how hard we work and trying to get our product out there and trying to get our product heard. So it's really neat to meet a bunch of people that are in the same boat as you.
Yeah, well said. Talk about Destiny. You just mentioned Destiny, and that's another song I wanted to talk about because I really enjoyed that song as well as Collision, and we're going to be playing both of these on our podcast during the show here. But talk about Destiny and really where that one came about, and really the kind of feel for that, because we were talking that it's really a crossover sound to me. Country could be a lot of different genres, which I think is really great. But talk about the process of writing that one and recording that one.
Yeah, so Destiny, I co-wrote it with the producer on it, Andrew Chervack. We were going to hopefully have a movie deal, was the main start for this song. So we had like a little trailer that we watched, and we were trying to like make this story about this girl. She's like a badass cowgirl, like getting revenge for the death of her father or something. So she was coming back for this guy and just trying to really like find herself. And we just kind of like made our own story. Like we only had what was in the trailer. We had a little bit, and we went off of that and just kind of made this girl that we were thinking of, and we just started writing the lyrics, and then we had the melody.
Where am I gone? And I go drink whiskey when the job is finally done. Oh, done. I'm riding and riding, I keep fighting 'cause you can't stop me. I'm the perfect disaster. I'll fly away after like a dream. I'm riding and riding, I'll keep fighting until I'm free. Running faster and faster till I capture my destiny. They thought I ran away.
It's funny, like the song went through a journey. It was going to be slower at first, and then it was going to be more completely pop. And now it's kind of, I don't know, it could go several ways. It's kind of rock. It's kind of pop, country, bluesy. It's got this old Western kind of sound to it, but yet it's, it's not old country. I wouldn't call it that. It's definitely something modern. So that, I think, is special about this song and why I want people to hear it, just because of the journey that Destiny went through.
Yeah, I mean, to me, my personal opinion is you have a very haunting voice. It's great. I mean, it's beautiful, and the music is just like top notch. And I really enjoyed listening to both songs, and can't wait to hear more of what you have as well. Let's talk about how people can find you on social media, because I want to make sure people come out and listen to your music. But let's talk about your social media. Where can they find you?
Okay, so I always lead people to the website because we put a lot of work into it. So it's just www.leahfuls.com. And Instagram, everything else, Facebook is just Leah Marie Fuls. But everything is updated on the website. That's where I always post news about anything going on. So I would definitely recommend the website, number one.
Okay, great. And then also, Leah Marie, I just wanted to first of all thank you for coming on to our show. Again, I'm a big fan already, and I want people to really go check you out, and hopefully you'll come on our show again in the future. And because I really want to know how the awards come out, Josie Music Awards. So when do those take place?
Absolutely. I will have to update you. So I think the show is on September 5th, so it's right around the corner. So I'm super excited, and I'll have to update you. And I am very appreciative that you had me on the show, and your work for independent artists. Seriously, we need it. We need a platform to be heard. It's a little bit tougher for us, so thank you for all that you do.
Well, of course, anytime. And like I said, you're always welcome on the show. And I hope you're successful in the future. I know you will be, because what I hear is definitely, like I said, it's top notch stuff. So everybody listening right now, please go to the website leahfuls.com and then find her on social media and again on streaming platforms and just check out what you can do. It's amazing. And, I hope you have a great night and good luck at the awards. And hopefully we talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Intuition.